Morning Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. I am your guy Hector. Like always, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. If you guys can, watch the intro and we will be right back.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat.
Good morning, Yankees universe. Like I said, welcome back to another edition of the Yankees Morning Brew. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills, on this Friday, June 16th. TC, how are you feeling?
Feeling good, man. It's a Friday, fun Friday, and got a game against the Red Sox.
I see you're already at Yankee Stadium, even though
I'm
they're
already
playing.
here.
They're
Camped
playing
out.
in
We got a full
Fenway
crowd
today.
already.
Yeah. Even though they're
touching the
playing in
facade
Fenway.
here.
Yeah, there you go. You're
Yeah,
good, bro.
I mean, it's a watch party. We're all watching from here. So,
Okay, all right. You're watching on the big screen. I got you, bro. I got you, bro.
Right. Yeah,
how are you feeling? It is Friday, Yankees versus Red Sox. How are you feeling? Is the rivalry, is the juices reinvigorating you? How are you feeling this Friday?
Yeah, I think so. Since they took 2 out of 3 in Yankee Stadium, I think we're going to, renew the rivalry, go to Fenway, and take care of business. We're going to go in there and sweep them. Yeah. Show them who's boss.
Definitely. Yeah. Let's do a little bit of the roll call real quick while we got people in the building. Shout out to the chat like always. We got 16 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. Also, we are sitting on 681 subscribers. If you are watching this and if you aren't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It does wonders for the algorithm and it helps us out tremendously over here. Make sure you guys tune in later on today. nyynewstv, myself and Jigga, we got Get Yanked going off at 4 o'clock. Also, make sure you guys tune in to GruntBaseball. It's another channel that we work on. The link is in the description for Grunts. Make sure you go sub over there and support us over there. But like always, shout out to 01LS1Z2ADABX. How you doing? Jason Lang is in the building. Of course, this guy, Mr. Jiggerman Porter. How you doing? El Don Sicario is in the building. Jonathan, my guy Jonathan is in the building. Sunil, how you doing? Juanita Renner, how you doing? Good morning. Senor Anthony Garcia is in the building. Senor Sean Browning is in the building. My guy, your friend, Mr. James Cook, how you doing? Sunil, it's the Friday before Juneteenth. Yes, it is. Salute, 3 capital S's. Alan Landsman is in the building. Alan, how you doing? L.I. Yankee King, the top troll in the Yankee community. L.I., how you doing? Giolita said this. Okay. So if we are not all familiar with the comedy of Jimmy Brewer and his Eat Your Face Off hilarity of his baseball and Yankee and Mets routines, do yourself a favor. Find Jim Brewer comedy on YouTube. You know what, Julieta? I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to do that right after the show. Mr. Eric Wallace, EY, is in the building. How you doing, EY? KC Fun Time is in the building. JC. My guy, NYY News Ruben. Finally catch you guys live again. What it do, Hector and TC Ruben? My guy, hope all is well. I got to get a reunion with Ruben, bro. Ruben got to come on the open panel. I miss you so much.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Impeach 693 is in the building. How you doing? In the house. Salute, 3 capital S's. Like we always say, smack that like button. And if you're new to the channel, let us know down in the chat below. And we give you all the warm welcomes over here to the Brew Crew station. We appreciate all the love and support that we're getting. And also, I'm going to keep on saying this because I'm going to say this once, twice, 3 times today. Make sure you get your tickets September 23rd. We were on the phone last night. It was me, it was Jigga, and it was our brother Pete, right? And we was having the conversations, playing this stuff for that weekend. And I'm telling you guys, you're not going to want to miss that weekend. September 23rd weekend, New York City, nyynewstv taking over Yankee Stadium, part 2 of 2023. It's going to be un película.
Don't miss this one.
Movie, like I said. But TC, we got to take all the subtlety, throw that to the side, all the welcomes, because we appreciate everybody for coming here. We got to take all the welcomes, pull it in the ball, and throw it out the window, right? Because we got to talk about our Yankees. And we got to start it off, and I don't want to sound like, and I don't want this to come off that me and TC, we are just a broken record, and we repeat the same thing every episode, because I don't want you guys to think that. But we have to talk about the veterans on this team, right? Hold on, let me bring this graphic up real quick. There we go. We got to talk about the veteran bats, right? Because when you look at it, our veteran bats, they aren't doing enough while Aaron Judge is out. Right. Shout out to Yankees Couch, who said Bowers is the best leadoff hitter at the moment for the Yankees. He is never stressed out. He's seen 5 pitches. Well, if you look at his 2 first at bats, he saw 20 pitches. That's what every team wants when it comes to a leadoff hitter. Get this starting pitching out of the game. Glaber swings and goes out on the first pitch. Listen, I love Jake Bowers, right? I love what he has contributed to this team. But if you are relying on Jake Bowers to be your leadoff hitter, you are in a bad space.
Big trouble.
You are definitely in big trouble, in a bad space. Like I said, he has done an amazing job when it comes to being a minor league signing. He started the season in the minor leagues. He came up. He has produced somewhat. But we shouldn't be relying on Jake Bowers to be the table setter when it comes to this offense. We need the 5 guys that are in the screen right now: Stanton, Rizzo, Torres, LeMahieu, and Josh Donaldson. That's who we need to carry this team. And I know it's kind of sad me asking for Josh Donaldson to step up and be a big part of this team. I honestly don't believe this man's going to be with this team by the time July or August hits. I think the Yankees are going to cut him. But if we're going to ask for anyone to step up, we're going to need Josh Donaldson to step up. Right? Yeah. When you look at Josh Donaldson, the money that he is making, $25 million on the books, and he has a batting average of 130. 130. 6 hits, 5 of them being home runs. What are we doing here? How is this how can I say this? How is this leading to winning baseball? I have no idea. TC, what's your thoughts?
Well, to add even more misery to this, I'll reel off some stats I just checked out. Since June 5th, okay, our 5 guys that we're relying on, this is what they're hitting. Anthony Rizzo, 038, no home runs. Giancarlo Stanton, 091, 1 home run. Josh Donaldson, 091, 2 home runs, seemed like years ago. Glaber Torres, batting 200, 2 home runs. DJ LeMahieu, 217, 1 home run. Since June 5th, this is what our main guys are doing. So if you want to see where the struggles are coming from, it's this. These guys are not producing, and we can't rely on these other role players. I mean, they're doing the best they can.
You said the key word. What was that key word that you just said? Role players. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah. These guys are fill-ins. You know, they're sprinkled. They're supposed to be sprinkled in with our veterans and our stars, but for some reason, our stars are now sprinkled in with the role players. So yeah, you can't win. And Jake Bowers as a leadoff, you know, I mean, I like the guy, but he's not a leadoff. And I have a leadoff hitter in our system that. For some reason, this team refuses to bring him up.
I think
he hit 2 home runs yesterday.
I think I know.
His name is Esteban Florio.
I knew that's what you was talking about.
For the love of God, bring this guy up already.
17 home runs on the season in AAA.
17 home runs. Let me take a look. Let me Let me see. Look
Hold
at
on,
some
wait,
stats
because I have it right here.
I'm sorry.
Let me bring it
I
up.
don't want
Let
to
me
steal
bring
your
it up.
thunder.
I know we'll fast forward in just a little bit, right? Because
Sorry
I was
about
going to
that. Sorry
bring
about
up the Yankees prospects, but we
My
could do it
apologies.
right now since you teed it off perfectly for me, right? So
Okay.
let's bring this up right here. Esteban Florio, his slash line when it comes to AAA, he is hitting 312. He has a 405 on base percentage. He has a 648 slugging, which gives him a 1.053 OPS. He has 17 home runs, 43 RBIs, 43 runs scored. He is walking 14.3% of the time, which is a career high for him in the minor leagues. When you look at his strikeout percentage, he is having the best season when it comes to his strikeout percentage. Normally, when you look at his numbers in the minors, Esteban Florio was striking out 34 to 35% of the time. This season, he is striking out 29.96% of the time. That is his career low. If there was ever a time, like you said, to call up Esteban Florio, now is the perfect time. On top of that, right, when you look at the lineup from yesterday, Trey Sweeney for Somerset was 2 for 3. Jason Dominguez was 3 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Austin Wells was 3 for 5 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Everson Pereira was our new hitting coach. Everson Pereira was 3 for 5, a double and 2 RBIs. We have young guys in our system right now that they need an opportunity to shine. There may be some guys that are closer to the major league level than others, but we need to give our young kids an opportunity, right? With the numbers that he has put up, I don't know what's the excuse not to bring Esteban Florio, right? I know the argument that people had, well, at the beginning of the season when he was DFA'd, nobody picked him up. 29 other teams shied away from him. I tell you this right now. If Esteban Florio was available, if he was DFA'd right now, I guarantee you 29 teams will come knocking on his door. With the numbers that he has put up this year in AAA, I guarantee you those 29 other teams would call his agent to get him in their organization.
Yep, and he'd come back and haunt us. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like we said on previous episodes, when Josh Donaldson was out, that was the perfect opportunity to bring up Oswald Peraza. They didn't do that. No. Now Judge is down, and they have all this opportunity to bring up Florio, who's just, I mean, does the guy have to bet 1,000? He's definitely not suited for AAA anymore. He needs to come up to the majors, and you have this opportunity, and you're not refusing. I mean, yeah, they brought up Billy McKinney, and I doubted it, but he's definitely surprised us, and yeah, hats off to Billy McKinney. He's decent in the outfield, and he's got somewhat of a bat. But there's guys on this roster that need to. Josh Donaldson needs. I mean, he needs to go. You got Willie Calhoun, hardly plays anymore. Get rid of him. Get some more useful guys on this team. That I mean, Florio can be our leadoff hitter. He can play everyday left field. I mean, yes, we have. Good thing we have Harrison Bader coming back. So I mean, that's a huge lift. But this is the time to bring up Florio, and I wish I could call up Hal or Cashman and say, what's going on? Why the hate on this guy?
And like Ruben just pointed out too, 9 of his 17 home runs, they have come against left-handed pitching. He is hitting 299 against lefties. Again, that was a major issue when it comes to Esteban Florio and his tenure in the minor league, being able to hit off left-handed pitching. He's hitting basically 300 this season against lefties. He has power against left. He has more home runs against left-handed pitching than he does against right-handed pitching.
Yeah. He wouldn't have to sit. I mean, he wouldn't even have to platoon. He could play every day. I mean, he's a young guy, play every day. He's got speed at the top of the lineup, power. I don't know what more you could ask for.
With Giancarlo Stanton being back, right, and being the everyday DH, you give credit to Willie Calhoun because he did an admirable job. He did an amazing job filling in for Giancarlo Stanton. Willie Calhoun, he is not a major league outfielder at this time in his career. He has lost a few steps. He doesn't have the range that he used to have back in the day. His arm strength is basically green light. You could run on him all the time. If we needed someone to be up or replace someone on the major league roster, it's Willie Calhoun. But I know that a lot of people reports that Willie Calhoun is one of Aaron Boone's favorites. Aaron Boone apparently is in love with Willie Calhoun. Put that to the side. We need to win baseball games. And if you ask me who can help us win more when it comes to their tools, it's definitely Esteban Florio.
Yeah, I mean, winning comes first, not making sure everybody gets their trophy. I'm tired of this. Just babying each guy. Don't hurt his feelings. Oh, he's just doing his best he can. And this is a business, and this is a sport. I mean, we gotta win games. It's not just we're competitive or those were some professional at bats. I mean, I'm tired of hearing that. We gotta win games. Jeter would never put up with this stuff.
No,
I mean we need somebody to step up. With Judge being out,
no,
I need a voice on this team to spark, light some fires under these guys. I don't see it. They're just going through the motions. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me point out to the chat real quick. My guy Ruben, he has a 30% strikeout rate. Joey Gallo in the minors was striking out at a 35% clip in AAA. He struck out 38.5% of the time with the Yankees and never hit for average the way that Florial is doing right now. KC Funtime. Florial has an on-base streak of 33 games. 33 games. Something that this team could desperately use right now. That's the second longest in franchise history when it comes to the minor leagues. 33 game on-base streak. What is the front office doing? What does Esteban Florio? Who's he got to walk on water in order to get his opportunity at the big league level? It's honestly unfair. Release this guy. If you're not going to bring him up, if you're not going to give him an opportunity, release him so he can catch on with another major league team right now. He is 25 years old. You are doing more harm to his professional career than you're actually helping him. He can contribute up here. You just got to give him the opportunity. And I know when he has come up here in years past, that he hasn't looked great when it comes to his numbers, but he's never been given a solid opportunity to prove that he belongs. It's never been consistent. It's been, you've been up here. We're going to sit you on the bench for 3 games. You're going to be a defensive replacement late in the games. You're going to start game 1 of a doubleheader. You're going to sit for the next 3 games. Then we're going to put you at the start of a doubleheader. They've never said, you know what? We're going to give this kid 50 straight major league at bats to see what he can do and what he can produce for us. Listen, I love Anthony Volpe, but with the way that his batting average has been this season, if we can give Anthony Volpe an opportunity, we should definitely be able to give Esteban Florio an opportunity, especially with the way that our left field platoon situation has been this season. Collectively, our left fielders are hitting 200.
Yeah,
collectively.
I mean, honestly, give him a week to 2 weeks straight. Don't sit him, play him, give him 40, 50 at bats. If he just craps the bed, say bye, DFA. I mean, you gotta give the kid a shot. You give it Donaldson. I mean, how many chances you're gonna give Josh Donaldson? The guy is just awful, and I guess it takes them to be out of the wild card race to maybe we should make a decision. Maybe we should. I mean, guys, come on! This is the time. Aaron Judge is not in this lineup. We don't have anybody that's hot. These kids in AAA are red hot. Let's take advantage of this right now. But that's and they don't have it.
We need both Florio and Peraza to be both of them.
Yes.
Immediately. Peraza, he's hitting 299, basically 300 down there at AAA. Esteban Florio, this entire season, his batting average never dipped below 300. So he has been a 300-plus hitter this entire season at AAA, having the best season of his career. If you look at his numbers from this year to last year and years prior, last year was his best season in the minors. This year, he has surpassed that. He is having his best season in the minors this season. I just want to understand the logic. What's the logic when it comes to not playing Esteban Florio? That's the only thing I ask for. And I don't ask for that much. I'm not that picky.
I want that
I
answer
just
too.
want to understand. I just want to be a fly in the room when they're making these decisions about the rosters, so I can understand what's the reason that they don't give Esteban Florio an opportunity. Like you said, especially with Aaron Judge, who is going to be out for a while. Yankee fans, get used to not seeing Aaron Judge to about the middle of July, maybe the end of July. Worst case scenario, first 2 weeks of August. That has to sit in the back of your head. The way that the Yankees front office has handled this situation. Hold on, let me just remove this real quick. Let me put this back right here. The way that the Yankees front office, they have handled this situation. It's just front office negligency at the moment. It really is. We've talked about it yesterday. Shout out to our guy Derek from NYY Recaps. Like I said, I believe Derek when he said that the Yankees right now, the way they are handling the Judge situation, it's just a way for them to just muddy the waters until Judge comes back and to keep them ticket sales coming.
Tickets.
That's
Money.
basically all it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about money at the end of the day. Because you got to think of it like this, TC. If you know Judge is not going to be back until August, most Yankee fans, you're going to check out. You're probably not going to even watch that many games. But if you're waiting for Judge to come back, you're more likely to watch the game so you could watch the pregame show so you can see if Judge is coming back, or you're more likely to buy a ticket to a game thinking maybe this is the week that Judge comes back, or maybe this is when we start to turn it around. But if it's in your head and if you know that Judge is not going to be back into August, mentally you're going to check out. I know a lot of Yankee fans, some of the people in the chat are going to check out. Juanita just said, I'm checked out.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Well, I mean, the way it should be is it should be winning first, and then the business and the money second. That's how George always treated the team like that. I care about winning. I want to win. I don't care. He knew he could make money on this team. He didn't care about that. He wanted to have a championship. And this team, it's the other way around. Money first.
Yes,
we don't care about the fans. We don't care about the winning. They could chirp all they want about bringing up this guy and getting this guy. We're gonna do what we want to do, and it's like a big, you know what, you to the fans, and we've had enough.
It's really a smack in the face, especially when we pay for the most expensive ticket in all of Major League Baseball. The Yankees is the most expensive ticket in all of Major League Baseball. If you're an average medium family, right? If you're just a middle class family, if you are a father who has a wife at home, if you're a father of 3 kids and stuff like that, if you work a construction job making 60, 80 grand a year, let's put it like that. This hypothetical person that I'm talking about, right? If you want to take your 2 kids out to Yankee Stadium and your wife, so the whole family goes out to Yankee Stadium, minimum, you're paying $80 for your ticket, $80 for your wife's ticket, $80 for your kid's ticket. Right there, that's $320.
Yes.
$40 for parking, $45 for parking, raises the price to $365 that you're paying to go to Yankee Stadium. When you go to the concession stands, you're paying $5 a pop for one drink. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. Add on an extra $20. That's $385 right now. Then you want to talk about chicken tendies, popcorn and stuff like that. That's another $100 right there that you're spending. So you're spending at bare minimum close to $500 to take your family to go see this game, to go see this team. And you're going to tell me that it is okay for you guys just to string us along and not tell us what's going on with our franchise player? That's a smack in the face. It's a smack in the face to your average fan.
Yeah. But I mean, the fans still go to games and they still watch, and it's the Yankees, and it's unfortunate that we can't do any protesting or boycotting, or honestly, I really would. I mean, I know someone brought up for you to do a petition to the front office, and I wish we could have our voices heard, and they need to know how the fans feel.
Yeah.
and do something about it, because we're paying their salaries. I mean,
Mhm.
all the the ticket sales, like you mentioned, $500 for one family to see one game. Multiply that by how many people go, and
Mhm.
TV deals.
And that $80 ticket, that's for like almost the top section.
Yeah, where
So
I'm
I'm
at right
trying,
now.
yeah, where you are right now. Let me pull up a chat. Let's pull up some of the chats real quick before we continue. I got my guy Italy Jet backstage. I'm gonna bring him up
All right,
momentarily
Italy.
because Italy Jet, he's a Red Sox fan, right? Even though
Okay,
he's a Red Sox fan, we
that's
still
good.
love this guy Italy Jet, right?
Yeah.
He's still a part of the family. He's one of the hosts for Jets Evening Brew. So I'm gonna bring my guy up to have the conversation because it's Yankees versus Red Sox.
Yeah.
Before the open panel, we're gonna have Italy Jet up here. We're gonna be having a conversation. Then I'm gonna bring up the people from the open panel so they can rip Italy Jet apart. I'm just letting him know right now. I love you, Italy, but you gotta get ready because this open panel may be brutal. Just saying that right now. My guy Anthony, what it do? He said, Hector, when I go to the game, if I don't have $500 in cash to spend, I feel like I have to cut corners. Imagine that. Absolutely. 100%. That's why I love my guy Anthony in the chat. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Enzo says we need to see people fired at the end of the season if this keeps going. Absolutely. Don Sicario. Love the fire emojis, my guy Don Sicario. Hold on, because Don Sicario, he had a tweet yesterday. Oh, I lost it. I can't find it. But Don Sicario, make sure you go follow my guy on Twitter. I got a chat right here that I want to bring up. It's from KC Funtime. Let me find it real quick. Give me a second.
I know that guy.
Yeah, I know that guy too. I know you know that guy. But Florio, as a leadoff hitter, he has 43 RBIs and 199 at-bats. And on top of that, when it comes to runners in scoring position, Esteban Florio is hitting 301 with runners in scoring position. You're going to tell me we don't need that at the major league level? You're going to tell me we don't need that, TC? Guy who can hit with runners in scoring position? Just throw that to the side, right?
What? Runners in scoring position? What?
Who does that?
No, they like guys that are batting 050 with runners in scoring position. That's what they like.
Exactly. They like guys that got 6 hits, 5 of them being home runs. That's all they like,
They
bro.
love
the
that,
job.
man. That's like their third hitter in the lineup.
Oh, 100%. That's a franchise player right there. Mitchell Fernandez is in the building. Mitchell, how you doing? Steve Schumann, my YouTube Padre, how you doing? He says, Judge, Volpe, Peraza, Florio, gross negligence on the part of the front office. Steve, that's why you are our voice of reason in the Yankee community, Steve, because you lay it how it is. Yankee Kyle, how you doing, my guy? Go ahead, TC.
No, the thing is, Peraza and Florio have been in the majors. What is the problem? I could see if they were just, minor league players. They've been here. Bring them up.
And also, when it comes to like Peraza, when he was up here, he hit over 300. It's not like he struggled last year. He hit over 300. This year, they hardly gave him many at-bats, but he hit over 300 last year.
But he plays good defense, so they don't want that.
They don't want a guy who plays good defense and has some speed. They don't want that. Why would they want that?
They want guys out of position. Put them in center field.
Exactly. They're going to have Austin Wells playing center field when he comes up. Guarantee you that's going to happen. Guarantee you that's going to happen. Ruben says we need a professional 200 average. Who needs hits with runners in scoring position? We only want walks. Absolutely. That's exactly what the front office is thinking. Also, guys, we got 32 people that are in the building. If you guys can't smack that likey button for your boys, I want to just bring this one graphic up real quick before we bring up our guy Italy Jet, talking about Anthony Rizzo's funk. Anthony Rizzo was asked if he feels added pressure and Aaron Judge is absent. Anthony Rizzo said, Judge is our guy. He's our leader. He's a good friend. You always want him in the lineup. But if you try to get 2 hits and 1 when it comes to every at-bat, I haven't seen it yet. Absolutely. I feel these guys, they're trying to do too much without Aaron Judge in the lineup. I feel that these guys, they're trying to hit the 6-run home run or the 5-run home run when you can't do that in baseball. You should just take every at-bat for what it is and try to make the best of it. Stop trying to pop dingers. Get on base, move guys over, and play actual baseball. I'm going to remove some of these things right here. I'm going to keep the prospects up.
I'm still wondering, though, Hector, if that lingering injury that Tatis when he played the Padres, in the neck and shoulder. I wonder if that's still lingering. I don't know.
Maybe
This doesn't look like the same Rizzo from the first half.
It doesn't. He was basically the starting first baseman when it comes to the All-Star game. He had a 300 plus batting average. His batting average went from 312 to about 266 in a span of 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. It has been god awful. He is 7 for his last 57 with 17 strikeouts. That's not like Rizzo. That's very uncommon when it comes to Anthony Rizzo. But if you remember last year when he got off to a nice start. He got off to a nice start to the start of the season, and the same thing happened, TC.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is just what Rizzo is. He doesn't do good in the month of June. I don't know what it is really. Could be the bat, like you just pointed to. He is getting up there in age. He's more one of our veteran hitters. So it could be a combination of everything. But guys, I'm going to bring my guy, Italy Jet. Italy, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready backstage to come up. He gave me the thumbs up.
All
Let's
right.
go right now. Without further ado, our guy, Mr. Italy Jet, is in the building.
Andiamo!
There you go. Whatever you say. Google to translate. Google to translate. But Italy Jet, bro, first of all, I just got to say, you are killing it when it comes to the Jets Evening Brew with our guy, Jigga Man Porto. So I got to say that. And also, bro, welcome to the family. You have been a welcome addition to the Morning Brew Sports. You were killing it over there, bro. But how are you feeling when it comes to the Yankees and Red Sox rivalry? Does it still have the same juice like it had when we was kids growing up? What's your thoughts, Italy, before we continue?
Before actually we continue, so on my podcast on the Red Sox, I always do this thing before I go on a baseball show is guess my jersey.
Okay,
my jersey. It's an old player. He's a legend player, but it's this jersey.
Did he play in the 2000s or in the 90s?
2000s.
Jason Varitek.
Ooh, that's a good one, but no.
Nomar.
No, but you're in the same era though.
Bill Miller.
No, he's a pitcher though.
Oh, pitcher. Okay. Tim Wakefield.
No.
Pedro.
Yeah, ding,
yeah. Ding, ding. He got the Pedro Martinez. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Don't you wish he was pitching for you guys?
Oh my gosh, more than anything right now. Well, listen,
Sunil got it right in the chat. He said it right there. Pedro Martinez, my guy Sunil. I like Yankee King said David Ortiz. No, you got it wrong. It wasn't the Ortiz. It wasn't the Ortiz.
Who cares?
It was the other. It was the other Dominican Papi on their team.
Well, who's your jersey? Man. Who's your jersey that you have on?
My Judge jersey is in the wash, so this is one of those generic jersey that doesn't have a number on it. At least, so thank you for blowing up my spot. Right, I appreciate you. No, but my Judge's jersey is in the wash right now.
No, you should do is get a Hector Yankees Morning.
I honestly don't like people that do that. I feel that's very I'm gonna say this very douchebaggy. Honestly, if you're a grown adult that's over 40 years old and you're walking around with a baseball jersey that has your last name custom on it, keep that in the house. Keep that in the house. You feel me?
Oh man, you clearly don't know me, Hector. You clearly don't know me then.
look at it.
Well, I was just about to say number 22, Italy Jet, right behind
there it is,
right on the wall.
No, I've had some people that have been following me for a long time. They've made me this stuff, so it's pretty cool. You gotta put it on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, Yankees, Red Sox. Does it feel the same? No, it doesn't. It feels awful. I'm just going to be honest. It does. I mean, I like where the direction that the Red Sox are going. I know we're in last place, but I like the young talent that we have. I really do. It's just not coming together right now. And I like the last win that we have against the Rockies, even though I was talking to a podcaster guy for the Rockies, and he said it was the highlight of their season winning against the Red Sox. And I'm like, wow. Oh, that's early. That's weird. In June? Okay. But hey, they're not a great team either. So I totally get that.
Also, too, you got to remember when the Red Sox faced the Rockies in the World Series.
Exactly,
I want to say in 2007. Yeah, so a little bit of a payback, for the Rocky fan.
I agree with you. It doesn't feel the same.
It was, I think when it comes back to Fenway Park, it's going to be very interesting because I think it's going to be close. These next 3 games are going to be very close. They're at night. Hopefully there's no bad weather. There's no delays. Because I know it's going to rain hard a lot this weekend in Boston. So it's going to be very interesting because the Red Sox, it seems like they don't show up in, like between like first 5 innings, first 5 innings, and then the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, they show up maybe a little bit, or maybe even harder. It just really depends on whose core is gonna put in.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very interesting. What do you guys think about that, though?
Well, I'll throw it over to TC real quick, but first I want to bring up when it comes to the Yankees Red Sox rivalry. I agree with you. It doesn't have the same juice like it once did. These are all night games. I feel even though the Yankees and the Red Sox aren't in the standing wise, they aren't in the place that we would want them to be, Italy. But at the same time, we understand that the American League East is the best division in all of professional sports.
Hands down.
It does not even just baseball, but just all of professional sports. I'm gonna put that out the way, right? So it's still going to, even though it doesn't have the same juice like it once have, I think the players still get up for it to still be competitive, like to make it a competitive series. What's your thoughts, TC?
Yeah, I mean, you guys nailed it. It's not the same. I mean, when we had Jeter and A-Rod in those days against Pedro and David Ortiz. I mean, there was
awesome.
nothing like those days. I mean, that was, and there was the top 2 teams in the division going at it every year.
Yeah.
Now we're the bottom dwellers, and Tampa and Baltimore passed us up, and just looking down, like laughing, like you guys are has-beens. I mean, this is
even the Blue Jays are coming out of nowhere.
It's
young
disgusting.
So,
it's disgusting.
I mean, and then we don't have Judge in the series, so I mean, there's just really no
story,
theater for this series at all. It's just a bunch of role players and bums. That's what I consider it against the Red Sox. So I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't have that. But I mean, you guys showed up in Yankee Stadium, so hey, I think coming to Fenway, I think they might have a little more juice to try to take at least 2 out of 3 or try.
I'll tell you this right now. When it comes to the Red Sox and their offense, at least you got 2, maybe 3 guys that you could point to, and you could be like, you know what, I'm confident that these guys can get a run with runners in scoring position. When it comes to the Yankees, I ain't confident with any of these guys in there. When Judge is not there, this offense is very lacking. I wanted to ask you, Italy, as a Red Sox fan, right? Because the Boston Red Sox this offseason, they signed a guy that I wish our front office did, Masataka Yoshida. What's your thoughts when it comes to Yoshida and his play in the big leagues over here when it comes to the stateside?
So my fandom goes back even when I was a kid with Yoshida, because and even just in Japan baseball in general, I am a huge fan of Japanese baseball. I'm a night owl, so I watch all the games. I'm an Oryx Buffaloes fan. So I knew Yoshida way before I think a lot of people do. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I'm a big Japanese Oryx Buffaloes fan, and I knew him and I wanted him, and I've been tweeting at the Red Sox, get him. And we got him, and I'm happy. And I still want a couple more Japanese players to come over from, to come to the Red Sox. But overall, yes, I loved it. I love what he's doing. People were giving him a lot of crap, earlier. And it's like, you're coming from Japan to the US. You gotta get acclimated. It's hard going from that to that. And it takes time, and it's taken time, and he's still struggling a little bit in the outfield, but his hitting is fantastic. I love the way he hits balls in separate directions. I love it. I hope, even after the 5 years that we re-sign him.
I want to ask you, right? Because I love the fact that you bring up that you're a big Japanese baseball fan, right? Because one of the conversations, I was having one of these conversations with a cousin of mine a couple of weeks ago, and I was saving it for the show, but I needed somebody that had the love for Japanese baseball like you do, Italy. So I appreciate you saying that. When it comes to Japanese hitters, I feel their approach at the plate is better than the American hitters. I feel when you look at Japanese player, the way that they load off of just one leg, why do you think American hitters have not picked that up? Now, I'm not saying when it comes to being physical specimens that the Japanese hitters are better physical specimens. Not saying that whatsoever. I think American players from DR, Puerto Rico, South America, Latin America, physically are bigger and more imposing than the Japanese players. But when it comes to foundation, when it comes to their loading off of one leg to the other leg, how do you feel? What do you think is the reason why American hitters or hitters on the state side haven't picked up that? Because when you look at Aaron Judge, that's a hitter from the state side that he loads up on one leg like a Japanese hitter, right? What's your thoughts, Italy?
You know what? I think it has a lot to do with the generation, because when I was a kid, I never got taught that in baseball ever. Like, they focused on more specific, like, outfield stuff. They really didn't focus on batting like that much. Like, okay, get in the cage and we'll see what happens. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, I'm paying you all this money for that. So then developing that, I think even in college, I've even seen it. Like, the outfield skills, the infield skills are a little bit more better than what they're doing at the plate. And I feel like Japanese and even Latinos, even some Italian players that I know, like, they're focusing a lot on coaching specific things that you can not only, even if you're 32, even when you're in your 20s, even going into your 40s, that can last you, that can keep you there. And I feel like America is like struggling and needs to pick it up a little bit more, because I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's a generational thing, but that's what I like about it.
Discipline.
Yes, discipline.
And just
Go
fundamental,
ahead,
fundamental, like you said, and just diet. I mean, they focus on a lot on diet there too. So that's just me, though.
Yeah, go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean, you see it. I saw it when I saw Ichiro. You know, they all do the same. It's the same load up, the same, style of hitting. So it's taught, all throughout Japan. So it works, and like the chat's been saying, it's fundamental baseball. They don't make mistakes. I mean, because they're punished. They're harsh on their players. So
it's also as well. I'm sorry, TC, for cutting you off. It's also when it comes to watching the game, it's more entertaining, right? When you watch MPP baseball, when you watch the highlights, the fans are just so invested into it, from the noisemakers, from the fireworks that goes off inside the stadium. It's like every team, they try to make it a show, not just a sporting event. They try to make it entertainment as well. What's your thoughts on that, Italy?
Which part? Sorry.
Talking about how Japanese teams, how they make it more of an event and a spectacle rather than rather than just a sporting event.
I think they're not surrounded by they're not social media too. Like, I think it's a big thing, because they really lock themselves. It's like Aaron Rodgers at a darkness retreat. I think they really focus on and other distractions. I think it's just the discipline and how much work they put into it, because these kids, they do it like 12 hours a day sometimes, and they do it all over again the next day. They don't take any days off. So I think it's all about the upbringing in the discipline and how much you're putting into it.
And I think they invest more money into youth sports over there, especially youth baseball, than they do over here. Because over there, they have actual baseball academies that you can go to one of those academies if you're in junior high school over here in the States, if you're in Japan, you're in the baseball academy. So you're going to school while doing your baseball routine at the same time. So they invest more when it comes to youth sports out there in Japan. I just feel that if we can look to them and try to not replicate it and try to make the same carbon copy thing, but we can implement some of those things. We need to have more baseball academies, especially in the inner cities like New York City, Chicago, some of these places that they just have barren fields and no one is using, right? I think they need to reinvest more, and I think that's more on the teams than it is the actual cities that the teams are in. I think the teams need to take more of a hands-on approach when it comes to investing in their local neighborhood. Look at the Yankees, for instance, right? If you look at where the Yankees are at by Grand Concourse, if you go down to Grand Concourse, it's a bunch of baseball fields, right? That the Yankees could actually put money in to help build up when it comes to leagues, when it comes to little leagues, when it comes to amateur leagues, and try to get that going just like they do in Japan. Am I off base for asking that, Italy?
No. I mean, I think I also I like what you said, but I also like what Pinstripe podcast.
Uncle Tats, that's right.
Yeah, I would say not so much copy. I would say just learn from it because I mean, we can always learn everything because this is what I've said for 5 years in football and even in soccer too. And now I'm saying it in baseball. The last 5 years, you've seen talent everywhere. Like there's people on social media now. There's people in Mexico, even in Europe and Asia. There's people coming out of nowhere that you would never see before that has more talent that I've seen in baseball in a long time. When I was a kid, you got your specific players, right? You knew who they were going to be and you knew they were going to be good. This time it's like anybody can come out of nowhere now. And that's what I like about it. And that's what we can learn from it too.
There's a guy that's on social media right now that is blowing up. He is a Nigerian catcher. I want to say his name. Can't find his name off of the top. I'm looking at it right now. 18-year-old Kuzumba Dennis. He is Nigerian and Ugandan. There's been videos going around of him doing his catching routine, and he is actually on track to be the first major league player from the continent of Africa, right?
Wow.
He is in developmental leagues right now. They have him in developmental leagues. I forgot what team he's associated with, but this is a kid, like you said, Italy Jet, you would have never thought would have got an opportunity to be a catcher. But because social media is so strong and because the reach is so wide, you can find those players out there. You just have to look for them.
Exactly.
That's the only thing. You just got to look for them.
Scouting.
Yes.
Scouting is huge now, like more than
Absolutely.
ever. More than ever. People downplay scouting a lot. And I'm like, no. There you got their specific assignments. And sometimes they are outside the box on some stuff. And then all of a sudden Yoshida comes to America. I mean, I could even say, Ichiro even coming to America. There's a lot of players now, even the Italian players that you just never would think. And now I think it's a beautiful thing. I think they need to continue to do that, honestly.
Yeah. Also, as well, Vinny Pascantino. What's his Vinny Pascantino?
Are you talking about the Kansas City guy?
Yeah, the Kansas City guy.
Yeah. He's out for the season, right?
Yeah. I was about to say they just announced it yesterday. Yeah, I was going to bring him up because he won me over during the World Baseball Classic.
Same here.
Loved him during the World Baseball Classic. He was the best hitter. Yeah, he was the best hitter this entire season for the Kansas City Royals.
Agreed.
It's sad that he had to end his season for an injury, and it's a shoulder injury also. Hopefully that doesn't affect him trying to rehab and come back next season as well.
Amen. I wanted him on the Red Sox. I wanted him on the Red Sox, honestly.
Talking about our teams, let's just segue just a little bit because you're more knowledgeable of the players coming from the East than I am. But when it comes to the next crop of Japanese players that are coming over, Murakami, Roque Sasaki, what players are you looking for that you want your team to bring? Like if people in the chat that aren't familiar with the NBP, who do you think they should keep their eyes on?
So I have been really bad with a lot of names, but I go by faces and numbers. Murakami is a good one, but there's this guy number 55, Yamamoto. Yeah, I think he's a first baseman. I really liked him. I really liked him in the
World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, World Baseball Classic. And I know there's a pitcher. My friend said there's a good pitcher for the Aurochs Buffaloes with him that I want to. I just keep forgetting his name. But I watched him and I'm like, I think it would be really good for any team, especially in the Yankees and Red Sox rotation, because those guys, they could be first or second starters immediately. And I know people keep saying, they play maybe a shorter season, they're not used to this stuff, or they play, they do days off a lot. And I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't matter because they're putting in not only are they putting in a lot of work, like so I don't know if do you see Trevor Bauer's like YouTube channel?
Yeah, I follow him once in a while. I tune in.
The devices that they use over there way before it came to America is genius. And I think that they're catching up to it now. I feel like they're ahead of the game in some ways. And that's what I think it's going to be a big advantage for some of these Japanese players coming to America.
It's just, the adjustment process, just, having to adjust. And you got to understand when it comes to the pitching out there, they go on a 6-man rotation. So it's like a 6 days rest or something like that, not the regular 5-man rotation. Do you think that's something that the States should adapt, Italy, especially before these injuries when it comes to the starting rotation? Should the States adapt the 6-man starting rotation?
See, I think you do need a backup guy just in case, because I've seen Boone struggle to get a starting pitcher sometimes. I've seen Core struggle to get a starting pitcher, and I think eventually it's going to come. I really do think it's going to come, and I wouldn't actually mind that because with these guys with the injuries. I mean, we've had so many injuries, both teams, that I think eventually it does need to happen because you got to have that guy. You got to have that guy ready.
No, yeah, definitely. What's your thoughts, TC?
Yeah, I'm in favor of the 6-man rotation at the beginning of the season, April, May. But as the pitchers start building up innings, I really don't see, especially for a guy like Cole. Cole wants his every day, 5 days, rest. So pitch every 5th day. So yeah, but it definitely will help. Help some of these injuries that happen to a lot of these pitchers. I mean, I don't know. You guys bring up the Japanese pitchers. I remember Tanaka pitching. He pitched years with injuries in his shoulder. He didn't get Tommy John, and he gutted it out. And these American guys they'd be out instantly. They'd be gone. So they're doing something as far as their health and their trainers and what they do, their regimen, that is far and above the Americans. I mean, look at all the injuries the Yankees have. Maybe they should employ some Japanese trainers. Or I mean,
that's what happens when us Americans, we grow up on yellow dye number 5 and 7. So that really hurts us.
Yeah, it's our diet.
Our diet. But no, want to ask you fellas before I open it up to the open panel. Not sure if you guys were watching or if you guys are into college baseball, but over the past week or two, they had a situation that came up. I think it was the Stanford team or something like that. I don't really know what team it was, but one of the starting pitchers threw a complete game. 155 pitches. In this day and age, do you think that coach was out of, how can I say this, took advantage of that pitcher that he has and have him? Do you think the coach handled the situation wrong, allowing that pitcher to pitch 155 pitches?
I'm not I don't watch college baseball, so I TC all you, buddy.
Do I think that he burned him out?
Eli brought him up.
Was that just now? Like halfway through the season? Is it?
It was the playoffs. Playoffs.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, he went with his best guy and he trusted him. Sometimes I've seen pros, David Cohn, some of these guys, going 120 or 130 pitches. I mean, you got to go with your best. If that's your ace and you don't trust anybody else in your bullpen, then there you go. But I mean, we have guys in the majors that we have, a 7th inning guy, an 8th inning guy, a 9th inning guy. So there's almost like no need to do that. But in college, maybe that's the guy. So go for it. It's the playoffs.
Yeah. I know we got Italy Jet for like the next 8 minutes because I know he has to leave at 12 and stuff like that. So I want to switch it up and talk about his Red Sox for a moment because it's refreshing to see a major league team actually play their young players, right? When it comes to the Red Sox, they're playing Tristan Casas, and I hate the fact that people keep butchering his last name. It's Casas. It's Casas, okay? It's not Casas, it's Casas.
Or Cases.
Brian Bello is another young guy that you guys have that I love. That man, well. I love that young kid. I love his demeanor on the mound, his pitch selection. He seems like he's never scared. Give me your thoughts when it comes to your baby Red Sox that you got right now coming through the system. What's your thoughts, and how do you think the front office to handle things going forward, Italy?
Well, in 2018, we just had two different types of GMs. I mean, one guy was ready to win now, and we won in 2018. Then Bloom came in. He's more developmental in the young talent. He wants to develop the minors, get all the draft picks back and develop, and then put in people eventually in just like a Yoshida, 30 years old, and then maybe bringing up Paxton, who's like really old. So it's a good mix right now.
Yeah.
And I think overall, I like what I'm seeing. There's a couple of them that I didn't like Tapia. I did not like that move. He was really good off the bench, but we re-signed Rob Refsnyder. I love that move. So I am encouraged, to be honest. And I think if we do the trading deadline right and get a couple good starting pitchers and put some of these guys in the bullpen, I think we're going to be just fine. And when Trevor Story comes back and Chang comes back, I think we're going to be fine too. But I didn't think we would go this route. I didn't think that we would develop in the young talent, to be honest. And that's what I appreciate about Bloom. Bloom, he's not perfect. He's like Cashman, he's not perfect, but I like I like where it's going. He gets a lot of hate for it, and Red Sox fans need to chill a little bit with it. But I like where we're going. That's just my opinion.
I got a quick question before he goes out. So when the Red Sox got rid of Xander Bogaerts and Mookie Betts, how did you feel about that? Did you think that they were just going in the right direction, or was it just like they were just tanking it and see you in 10 years?
Great question.
See, Betts, I love Mookie Betts. I wanted him here. It's kind of working out for us now just a little bit because Connor Wong's our starting catcher and Verdugo has been fantastic. I mean, but I really wanted him. Bogaerts, I did not want to sign him back. I know a lot of Red Sox people wanted him, but that's why we got Trevor Story. I like Trevor Story a little bit better than Bogaerts. And I think Story is going to be just fine coming back. But if I had to pick one or the other, like you said, I would go Betts. But Bogaerts, no. But I like Story better, and I like kind of like Yoshida. I love Yoshida. But when you compare Yoshida and Betts, it's kind of like you're comparing apples and oranges. So he's not there yet. Betts is proven to be there, and Yoshida just needs to continue to prove that. But we had the money, though. I'm gonna be honest, we did. But I don't know what we were thinking there. But I think we're just trying to continue to save ourselves a little bit. But I understand he's invested in the young talent too.
The return that you guys got back for Mookie Betts, Verdugo, Kike Hernandez. I forgot there was another person that was in that trade.
Connor Wong is our starter.
Catcher. Are you happy in the return that you got back for Mookie Betts? Or Red Sox fans, are you guys happy with a Verdugo? Are you guys happy with a Kike Hernandez? How do you feel when it comes to those players?
Kike's Kike, man. You don't put him at shortstop. But he's better at second base and center field. But I understand we have a lot of talent in the outfield. Verdugo has been fantastic. Everyone says, "Oh, he's going to be a bust." I'm like, no, give the guy time. He's got some pop. He's a great locker room guy. He's extremely funny, and he's been very good for this team. Wong, I love what I'm seeing from Wong. Wong still has some time to grow, but man, he is just so good, man. I love what we brought in Wong. I do like the return. I do. It's just Betts is one of my best players that I've ever liked in a Red Sox organization. So it's kind of mixed feelings.
Okay. Go ahead.
I would have thought that Mookie Betts was like our Aaron Judge. I mean, I would have thought the Red Sox would have held on because if we got Kike Hernandez and Verdugo and Connor Wong for Aaron Judge, we'd be probably rioting.
Hold on. I made a little bit of mistake. When it comes to Kike Hernandez, he was signed as a free agent. He was a free agent.
Yeah, you guys just like Arroyo.
Yeah, you guys got back Jeter Downs. That was the third player that you guys got back.
Yeah. That was a bust.
And that's a guy that you guys released and red of.
Regardless, I think the Yankee fans would have probably burned the stadium down.
We were going to burn. Red Sox were going to burn the stadium down if we didn't sign Devers. That was the
next move, and I honestly thought I was like, if he goes, the Red Sox they're gonna riot.
I mean, Devers. 18 years old, coming up. He's homegrown. We've been developing him for years. He does. He's a cold killer.
Yeah,
that's a guy that I really wanted in the Yankees uniform. That's a guy that I really wanted batting in the Bronx for 81 games out of 162. That's a guy when it comes to Rafael Devers.
Yeah, but Hector, Donaldson, Devers.
I'd definitely take Devers over Donaldson. You fucking kidding me at this point?
I don't think this drink is strong enough.
Yeah. Pass me that mimosa, Italy. I need a mimosa ASAP.
I got you, brother. Cheers, brother. Cheers.
But Italy, my guy, I know you got to get out of here. We want to respect your time, brother. Let the people know that are in the chat right now that aren't familiar with you. They know that you're on the Jets Evening Brew, but let them know as well about your other channel and other stuff that you work on, bro.
Thank you, man. Italy Jet on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp. I have a Red Sox show on Grandstand Productions called Inside the Sox Podcast. I do West Ham content for soccer lovers for Let's Talk Sports, and then I'm on the NR Hour. I know Hector, you met Nathan through that.
Nathan, that's my guy.
Nathan, that's how I met Porto.
I
love that guy. I love those guys.
That's family over there. Nathan is family for me. That's good people. Nathan is real great people.
And then and I'm starting to do some Heat content here soon. And but yeah, that's me, Italy Jet. Appreciate you guys, man.
Nah, Italy, appreciate you, my guy. It's a pleasure, and we got to do this more often. I love the conversation, bro. We definitely got to do this more often, my guy.
Hey, but before you go, Jets prediction for the season. What do you think? Record?
I'm going somewhere between 10 and 12 wins, and then breaking that playoff drought.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, man, great pickup.
I'm loving it. And also, and I know people sometimes disagree, but Red Sox and Heat, best rivalry in baseball and one of the best rivalries of all time. Just saying.
Oh, listen, Knicks and Heat also, Yankees, Amen. Red Sox, the real good rivalries that'll give us a lot of punches have been thrown when it comes to those teams playing each other. But Italy, my guy, appreciate you, my guy. Salute. Italy salute. Jets Twitter is in the chat right now, so make sure you guys go give my guy a follow over there. Appreciate Italy Jet, like always. We will have him up for another conversation. But I'm going to put the link for the open panel in the chat. And you guys are more than welcome to come and join the conversation. But like always, we got to remember, we got to respect the terms and services when it comes to YouTube, right? Please do not call anybody any slurs, don't cursing, nothing like that. We got to be respectful for one another. And also, if somebody is in the middle of giving their take, let them finish before you jump in and interject what you want to say, because we're going to give everybody the opportunity to get off what they want to say first and foremost. And like I always say, let's keep it respectful. So the link in the chat is right there for the open panel. You guys are more than welcome to come on the open panel. I'm going to play the commercial for September 23rd because we got to play this commercial for September 23rd. And we'll be right back. Hit the link, jump the open panel. Let's go.
As the competition, but if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you want to feel it like you could close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back. Let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you did this to yourself, that's a bad decision.
Don't mess it.
The link is in the chat. Make sure you get your tickets for September 23rd. I'm going to bring up the first person for the open panel. My guy, NYY News. Ruben is in the building. Ruben, how you doing? First of all, Ruben, it's nice to see you not in the car.
Been a while.
I could probably say, it's nice to see that.
Outside of the car, guys.
Ruben, what's good, my guy? How you feeling,
relaxing, bro? Got his tank top. He's just
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm chilling, in that, the working from home life, So,
gotta enjoy. Listen, gotta enjoy.
But yeah,
lunch break right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking my break right now, so before my meeting.
Exactly.
So yeah,
but Ruben, how are you feeling right now when it comes to the team? Give me your thoughts, bro. Lay it off. Whatever you want to talk about, it's on you, bro.
Man, at this point, it just feels like no matter what we do, we can't get the process right because Cashman's process isn't based on results. Mm-hmm. So at this point, it's like, oh yeah, we practice hard, yeah. And it's like, okay, are you practicing strategically? Are you doing drills that you need to do to get these guys hitting right? I mean, the fact that chicken parmesan was the trigger for Volpe to have that discussion with Wells is kind of ridiculous at this point. And then you also look at I think back with Kevin Long when we had Guy and Granderson, and at that time they were killing Granderson because he was hitting 240. Mm-hmm. I mean, we'd love to have more of those nowadays.
Oh God, what? We would love to have that.
But he was hitting 240, and they're like, "Oh man, this guy's trash," is what they were saying. So then he goes and he tells them, "All right, let's go ahead and sit you for like about a week. We're gonna go and work on all these drills." And then all of a sudden, he became a 40 home run bat. So he unlocks these players. But this guy that we got is like, "Oh, I don't care where we rank. We just want to win ball games." And it's like, well, that's the whole point of you being a hitting coach, because the more we score, the more we win, buddy. Like, you gotta score to win.
I got something for you, Ruben, real quick. So the Yankees want to base everything on analytics and numbers, but yet they don't look at what the guys are doing in AAA based on all their numbers. Does that make any sense?
It doesn't, because if you look at it, I've been saying this for months. I mean, since last year, really. Gallo has always struck out. Judge always strikes out. Difference is both of one hits for average, one doesn't.
Yeah.
So why isn't Florio being given a real shot? Florio has a lower strikeout rate than Gallo ever did in the minors, and has hit for higher averages multiple times that Gallo's ever done. I think Gallo, the best he ever hit in the minors was 250. So then why are we not giving him a real shot? A guy that plays hungry, that plays good defense. If they give him 40 games, don't sit him once. Just 40 games, all 9 innings. Tell him, hey, you need to go ahead and earn this. And after 40 games, if you ain't done this, you're out. That's it. We give up. Yeah, because at this point he's 25, bro. Let somebody else take a chance on him.
When it comes to Florio, I think what hurt him a lot was early on in his career, when he was 19, 20, 21 years old, he was constantly dealing with injuries. If you remember back in spring training, he broke his wrist falling right at the
his collarbone. I think he broke his collarbone.
Like
everything.
Random injuries also, like you said, the collarbone, the wrist breaking, little hamstring here, foot injury there, and I think that's what hurt him more than anything. But when you look at, like TC said, when you look at the numbers for the past 3 seasons in the minor league, he has gotten better and better each season. You cannot say he hasn't. You can't say he hasn't gone back down there and worked on the things that you guys have asked him to work on, because he has. He is walking more. He is striking out less. And he's putting bat on ball.
Yeah, and he's a slow adjuster. He needs time. Look at 2021. He hit like 227 that year in the minors. When he was up in the majors, he had 300 that year in a very small sample size. But he's a guy that, to me, he never looked overmatched. To me, it was more like, okay, he needs more time to see these pitchers to kind of really get a feel for it. And then last year, he had like 283. This year, he's hitting 312. So he's getting better. He's adjusted to the league. Let him adjust in the MLB. And then like Peraza's already shown that. Peraza to me looks like he might be like a Machado type player, but without the mouth. You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, because like he just shows up, plays ball, and like he's getting into that man strength. Like he's getting into his mid-20s now, where now you have that full development, where now he's hitting balls over the fence now.
His power is finally caught up. He was known for doubles down in the minors, but you know what they said? If you're known for doubles, sooner or later the home runs are going to follow after those doubles.
Exactly.
You grow into your power.
Only 22 strikeouts in 131 at bats. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, he has a great strikeout rate. I mean, that was the one thing that I was looking at when he was up here this year. Even though he wasn't getting that many hits right away, he had a super low strikeout rate. I'm talking about, like, I think he had like a 15% strikeout rate. That would be like either number 1 or number 2 in the team of the best strikeout rates.
Oh yeah.
And his at bats never looked ugly.
Yeah.
His at bats always look like, damn, he's about to like at some point they're gonna start falling, because he was hitting it hard. And the Yankees just seem to be like, oh no, he pulls the ball too much. Sending him back down. It's like, bro, did you not watch Marcus Semien play for the Blue Jays, and you faced him 18 times that year?
Yep.
And in those 18 games, the dude freaking pulled every freaking ball for a home run. Yankee Stadium doesn't have to be like, oh, hit it to right field in the short porch. No, like left field is not that far from for us.
No, it's 338 down the line in left field. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Like, it's like, what the heck? Like, just let him freaking pull the ball. We need diverse hitters. We don't need like everyone hitting to one side.
Right.
When it comes to Peraza, sorry to cut you off, Ruben.
No, you're good, Papa. You're good.
When it comes to Peraza, and his at bats, like you said, he wasn't having at bats that were 3 pitches, 4 pitches. He was getting deep into the counts. He was getting your 3-2 at bats, right? He was making the pitcher throw 7, 8, 9 pitches. We're losing our mind when Jake Bauers is getting 10 pitches per at bat against Verlander. We don't have guys that work the at bat like we used to back in the days. You remember the early 2000s, the Giambis, the Matsuis, the Sheffield.
I mean, look at 2009.
By the time we got to the 5th inning, the opposing starting pitcher was at 90 pitches already. We was about to get into that bullpen. But you look in 2023, by the time you're in the 5th inning, the opposing pitcher got 60 pitches.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous at this point. And then also, because I do have a limited amount of time.
No problem.
I did want to point something out about the Japanese league.
Go ahead.
That I was listening to. Their pitchers,
too, guys, I got people backstage. Just hold on momentarily. I'll bring you up. I just know Ruben's time is very limited, so I want to give Ruben the floor while we're having a conversation. Go ahead, Ruben.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. So the Japanese league, they pride themselves in consistency, right? So they're always telling them like, hey, go as deep as you can, go as deep as you can. And the problem is with the MLB is like that sometimes they don't allow these pitchers to pitch consistently. So when back in the day, they used to tell them, hey, you have to throw 100 pitches. And if you don't got in the first inning, you better figure it out. And at this point, they don't do that. So when the inning starts getting a smidge ugly because it's not a perfect inning in the 5th or 6th, they take him out. Like they always like Boone loves to do. So, but the problem is that to me, I believe that's causing the injuries. And the reason why I'll say that is because he doesn't look at the pitch count; he looks at the inning. So when he gets to the 5th inning with 70 pitches, and then the next time out he's in the 5th inning with 100 pitches, he actually threw more in the second start. But then now his pitch count is going like this and down, up, down, sideways, up, down. So there's no consistency. So your body has no ability to adjust to conditioning. You're supposed to condition your body to a consistent workload. And the workload is not based on innings. It's based on how many pitches you're throwing. And that's the problem that they're not doing. That's why you see, like, I mean, Severino is that type of pitcher where he's like, let me just get consistent pitches and I'll get through it. Because the Yankees have done a horrible job managing Severino. Because in 2019, we'll wait. Oh no, we'll finally get the MRI like 3 or 4 months into it. You know, like, so he could have probably gotten the Tommy John and all this other stuff way sooner. Would have probably been back by 2020. And or at least he would have been for the full 2021, right off of spring training, would have been back. And then you would have had Severino really pitching for a couple years now. And then if they didn't constantly say, hey, we're going to take you out with 80 pitches here, and then take you out here with 50 and over here with 90, you're messing up their body's ability to adjust. Because now there's no consistency in their workload. Same thing with the hitters. Put them 1 through 9, give them consistent lineup spots, and then if you play them consistently, they get in a rhythm. That's what happened with Stan. 2021 goes into Minnesota, starts getting hot, they sit him. And then after that, he went on a month-long cold stretch.
It all goes back, Ruben, to an organizational philosophy. The organization, they just don't know their ass from their elbow. Honestly, if you want to take this team and look back on the past 30 years, right, of starting pitchers that we have developed over the past 30 years, can you even put together a starting 5 rotation for an entire season just off of the past 30 years? Let's just think about it. Andy Pettitte, obviously, number 1, right? So let's put Andy Pettitte as starting pitchers that we developed, right? The next one, Ching Ming
Severino.
Severino. Who else? Phil Hughes, Jabba Chamberlain, Ivan Nova.
Yep. I mean,
like, you get to really think about it over the past 30 years. Think about the starting pitchers that we have developed. Andy Pettitte being the best of it. Then Luis Severino, who is often injured.
Would you consider El Duque?
That killed his career. I wouldn't consider El Duque because we got El Duque from Colorado. Nestor, you could throw Nestor in there, but now Nestor, he's dealing with his shoulder issue.
No, El Duque, I think, was a Cuban free agent, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he was. He was signed with Colorado first, and we traded for him. He was with Colorado.
Oh, really? I didn't know that part. The Colorado part. Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing with me. Like, it's just that the consistency is not there. They don't allow the players to kind of get comfortable in certain areas. It's like you look at like um, when they started hitting Glaber leadoff. I was actually a guy that posted that last year, like middle of the season.
Hold on. Enzo just said, name me a prospect that we traded that became a superstar or became a Yankee killer. I got one. Mike Lowe.
Yeah,
Mike Lowe, a third baseman. We traded him in 1999 when we needed a third baseman. Jay Buhner, exactly.
Yeah. There was a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of that we traded away. But my thing is with this team is like it feels like no matter who we trade for, at some point we poison them. Because I mean, look at Sanchez. Sanchez looked like he was going to be an MVP, historic offensive catcher. I mean, historic. Like his first 2 years, 16 and 17, his 162 game average was like 30 doubles and like 49 home runs.
Yep.
Like no one does that. No one. Like there's very rarefied air that anybody hits that many home runs over 162.
Ruben, I want to ask you one more question before you get out of here, Ruben, because I got the other guys on the open panel I want to bring up.
Dale,
you bring up somebody in the chat. You bring up Soriano as well. Someone in the chat brings up Soriano. Soriano is a guy that he came up as a shortstop. The Yankees converted him to second base, and then eventually he moved to left field with the Chicago Cubs and the Nationals later on in his career. Do you see Gleyber Torres as a person that can do that, being a guy who was signed as a shortstop, moved to second base? Do you see the Yankees potentially moving him to an outfield spot?
I don't like him in the outfield.
No,
because he doesn't have the legs, and he has a good arm. He has a better arm than Volpe actually. When he played shortstop, his arm actually was pretty like a smidge above average. It's just that the problem was his release. What I don't like about Gleyber is that he dogs it like kind of like Hicks was at some point. So like I can't see him running down balls. Like he's just not going to give it his all.
Yeah. That was my whole thing against it. That was the only reserves that I had for it. TC, any last questions before we let Ruben go to bring up the rest of the guys?
No, just good to see you, and just keep chilling. Looking forward to see you, on the next open panel, man.
Ruben, you gotta let me know when you're able to do these, because I love having these conversations, bro. So whenever, either Tuesdays or Thursdays or even Fridays before the open panel, if you got a window of time, DM me so I could just send you the link. That way you could jump on the panel and just give us that little bit of time. All right, Pop?
All right, cool, Papa. I'll DM you on that for sure. And then also, guys, check out NY News Felix's channel. Don Sicario, Don Yankee con el Body. He just had another episode, and your boy's on it. Your boy's on it.
A little plug. Make sure you guys go follow Don Sicario and Ruben over there at NYY News. Felix, shout out to Felix as well. Can't wait for September 23rd. I know, Ruben, it may be hard for you to get to the stadium, but if there's a way for you to get to the stadium, bro. I would love to have a drink.
If there is a way, I would totally do it. But at this moment, I think with the new baby, we're probably holding back for now.
Nah, all good. Listen, congratulations on the young one. All right, baby?
Gracias, man. Cuídense.
All right. Later, bro.
Dale.
Later. That was our guy, Ruben, NYY News. Ruben, I'm going to bring up some of the guys from the open panel, and I apologize, guys, but I'm going to bring you up as you guys enter the queue. First and foremost, I got to start off with my guy, Mr. KC. Fun time in the building. KC, how you doing, good sir? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm doing good.
You guys had a conversation on your hat this morning? Because you guys literally have the same hat.
I have to give it up for TC. He's got a lot more hat selection than I do. This is pretty much all I have. So
I got like 2, maybe 3 Yankee hats at the most. This is my favorite one for the moment. Normally I switch it up. I always switch up my favorite hats every month. But KC, bro, you was throwing in the great stats in the chat, talking about Esteban Florio. The floor is yours, KC. What do you want to talk about? How are you feeling when it comes to this team? Go ahead, bro.
Well, I think a lot of us felt the same way after this Subway series with the Mets, man. It was bad. It just the gameplay was bad all the way around. Base running, the defense. I mean, the hitting with runners on base. It just really took a lot of for me as a fan. I just was depressed. But the good news is there's still a lot of baseball to play. Things can turn around. We've seen it before. And so you try to stay positive and see what happens. But man, they do need to make changes, though. They do.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. I see Anthony in the chat right now. He brings up two great stats that we could talk about momentarily. He's like, guys, pitching injuries can be dated back to 1969 when MLB lowered the mound 5 inches and shrunk the strike zone. Pitches throw off a flatter ground and the strain on the arm is well documented. He also said, you never heard of or saw Tommy John type of injuries prior to 1969. And there's a little bit of truth to it, but at the same time, it's 50-50. Actually, when it comes to medical technology, back in 1969, it wasn't as advanced when it comes to the first Tommy John surgery. But when you look at pitchers and their injuries, a perfect example is Sandy Koufax. Sandy Koufax had if the Tommy John surgery was out back then, it would be called the Sandy Koufax surgery, because Sandy Koufax, the reason why his career came to an end was because of that arm injury, and he was somebody that needed Tommy John. And there's a lot of pitchers from back then that were great, but then they got an injury and they were never able to repeat prior success that they had. The only difference was back then they were still pitching with that injury. That is the only difference between back then and now. But hold on, Casey, just 1 second. We got a couple more people. I want to bring Jonathan into the building. Jonathan, how you doing, handsome? Good morning.
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah,
I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. Sorry to have you guys back there waiting for a while, but we just, had Ruben for a little bit of time. Wanted to get
I might only have like 10 minutes or so.
Oh, good. Listen, Jonathan. So the floor is yours right now. When it comes to the prior series against the Mets, how are you feeling when it comes to this team? Go ahead, Jonathan. Get it off your chest.
Yeah,
vent. I think the hitting is horrendous. The swing. I remember I saw a bat. I forget who was at bat now because it was so unforgettable. I can't even remember these people's names. I saw one of the Yankees, probably Trevino, swing at balls in the left-handed batter's box. You basically couldn't hit that ball with a flagpole. I don't know why are the Yankees not very patient? That's another thing I found with these teams. Ever since Judge went on the DL, nobody is patient at the plate. Nobody.
You bring up Trevino, right? And I want to bring this up. You remember that at bat that he had against the Red Sox that he just looked god awful. So I'm gonna bring this up right here. I'm gonna put it in the middle of the screen for you guys can see. Look at the pitches 1, 3, and 4. Look at them. 1, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I don't know why he's swinging at any of those pitches.
Look at that. Literally right there. Look at that.
How did he even make contact? Jeez.
I have no idea. I'm gonna bring it up again. Look at both 3 and 4 are hitting him. If he would have just stood still, exactly.
Why are they swinging? Why is he even thinking of swinging at those pitches?
It comes back to the coaching, to the hitting coach and his philosophy, right? Wow. Dylan Lawson, you guys heard what he said. He said, I don't give a bleep of where we are at when it comes to offensive rankings and stuff. We just got to win again. I don't understand that. What, Jonathan, if you go into work, right, and you tell your boss, listen, boss, the roof is leaking, the lights aren't working, the bathroom toilet doesn't even work, and he tells you, Jonathan, I don't give a shit if you can't take a shit. I don't care if water's leaking on your head. We still need to get the work done. How are you feeling about that, Jonathan? Are you going to stay working for that person?
I would probably drive home and use the bathroom before I make another comment. I would take my car, drive home.
Yeah.
I have to leave work early today. I'll take a half day today.
No. But on a serious note, Jonathan, how are you feeling about Luis Severino? How are you feeling about? I know you brought up the offense, how it sucks right now, but what's your feeling on the overall state of this team when it comes to starting rotation?
Severino, I think his pitches are down, and a big problem with a lot of his pitches in his last start is they had no movement whatsoever. All his fastballs were straight. Even someone with a wiffle ball could probably hit that with a wiffle bat. and there is no movement on any of his pitches. And that is what I noticed on all of his pitches in his last start.
Mm-hmm.
He has to come away. I think he has to focus. If I was giving him advice, focus on not throwing as hard and focus on movement with his pitches. So he can mechanics. Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta say something. I see Li Yankee King. He keeps trying to join the queue. Li, it keeps showing that you can't connect your camera, so I'm not sure what's going on. Li, if you can close out your browser, reopen it, and hit the link again. I'll put the link again in the chat for you, Li. But it keeps saying that your camera's not connecting at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on. But I want to bring up one more person to the open panel, Mr. Chicken Parmesan himself. Chicken Parm, how you doing, Sunil?
So you gotta bring me and Mr. Miyagi to replace Matt Blake and Dylan Lawson. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Listen. I'll take that. I'll take that 10 days out the week. You know, even though there's 7 days in a week, I'll take that.
I would love Shelly Duncan on this coaching staff.
No. All jokes aside, I would definitely love Shelly Duncan on this coaching staff. Right, this is a kid that came through our minor league system.
Yeah, Chili Davis. He said Chili Davis
broke on the scene in 2007 with us when we tried to make that run towards the playoffs against Cleveland. Shelly Duncan is somebody that I would love. Chili Davis as well. That's a good option. But I think Shelly Duncan, just for his Yankee connection and coming up through the farm system. And also,
I got another name for you, Raul Ibanez.
His father was that's a good one also. But Shelly Duncan's father, he was the guy that was in charge of the Bash Brothers with the Oakland A's. Are you killing me?
Yep.
If there's anybody that knows hitting philosophy, Shelly Duncan and the Duncan family, And then
Dave
Shelly Duncan, he had a brother that was with the St. Louis Cardinals who was a borderline all-star also. I think it was Chris Duncan was his name. I don't remember his name, like Chris Duncan, right? Yeah. But Sunil, my guy, my good friend, my buddy, how you doing? What's your take when it comes to the overall status of the team right now, and how do you feel going into the series in Boston?
Is everybody sitting down in the panel in the chat as well? Because
okay. I guess Sunil's gonna go on a rant right now. Go ahead, Sunil.
Yeah. Cyclically, a week has 7 days. All right.
Typically.
Okay.
Typically. Yeah. Unless you're listening to the Beatles 8 days a week, that's a different story, but with different conversation. 2016 was 7 years ago. Before and at the time when people like Judge and Sanchez were just popping on the scene. Fast forward the clock to 2023, my strongest fears, and I'm about to speak Li Yankee King over here. We're back to 2016 again, because this team is, even with 2 extra wild card spots, I'm not very optimistic about playoffs. Forget about division. Division's a foregone conclusion. Drop that out of the picture entirely.
I think Casey brought that up in the chat also a couple of days ago when it comes to the division. Go ahead, Sunil.
So, and then you have people who don't belong in this pitching rotation, sorry to say. Everybody's talking about the free agency eminency with Severino. Yes, trade him, please. He hasn't really proved too much since that 4-year 40. Nestor is he had one good year last year in the starting rotation, but because of things like health and stamina, you're seeing what a mistake that basically became. He basically could be what the role that Nick Ramirez is playing right now as a long reliever, cleaning up in the middle innings right now. He doesn't have the stamina to be a starter, to go 2-3 rounds into a batting order to be a starting pitcher legitimately. This was clearly a forced move. I was saying this since last year. You are seeing the repercussions of this right now. As far as Severino's movement, somebody touched on the movement point just now. Randy Vasquez is going to have to give Luis Severino some Mexican lasagna right now, and basically, and basically show him how to get that shit to move.
Well, first of all, Randy Vasquez is Dominican. He's not Mexican, so he's going to have to give him some Dominican spaghetti, not some Mexican lasagna. But before we continue the conversation, I just want to bring something up. The Yankee Clipper, shout out my guy in the chat. And I just want to say this real quick. What I'm about to say is not a reflection of my opinions when it comes to John Boy Media, because I think what John Boy and what Jake has done is awesome, right? YouTubers that have built themselves an empire when it comes to covering the Yankees. I think it's phenomenal what they have done. But the one thing I'm going to say, and I think all of us over here know that, right? We make all of you guys moderators for the chat, right? For a specific reason, right? Because if we see somebody being disrespectful or rude and nasty in the chat, we want you guys to go in there and clip them, mute them, time them out, do whatever. The one thing that I preach about the moderators in the chat, I don't want you guys to mute somebody because you disagree with one of their takes.
Right.
I welcome me and TC over here. We welcome everybody's take. If I don't agree with somebody's take on the team, it doesn't matter. You still have an opportunity to voice your opinion over here. I'm not sure how Jake or John Boy, how they handle their moderators or what they tell their moderators, or if they even saw somebody being muted in the chat. But the one thing I'm going to say to you guys here, if you disagree with somebody in the chat, don't mute them. That's the one thing that I ask everybody, that I give you guys moderation power. Don't mute somebody if you disagree with them, right? That is the one rule. Again, like I said, I welcome all opinions. Everybody is welcome to give their take. If Casey doesn't agree with somebody, it's all cool at the end of the day, because when it comes down to it, we want the same thing. This team to win a goddamn championship. That's all we care about. That is the one thing that I wanted to say about that. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Pete Seminetti in the NYY News TV familiar. Make sure you guys tune in later on today, 4 p.m. Get Yank will be in the building.
Pooty do, Petey. Call your mama.
Pooty do. That's my guy, Pooty do.
Hector, have you ever been to a playoff game or a World Series game?
No, I unfortunately didn't grow up in the best financial circumstances to be able to go and attend playoff games and stuff like that. But this year around, I do have some pennies saved up that I may go to the playoffs if we even make it to the goddamn playoffs, Jonathan. That's the thing about this team. Like someone says, we are second place when it comes to the wild card, right? But I'm not too sure if this team has what it takes to keep things going, especially if this is the way things are going about, right?
Honestly, what I would consider, and I know this is not the Yankees' way, is if the Yankees are not out of it by the trade deadline, they should try to make a couple trades to help them next year instead of this year.
Okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. Casey, what's your thoughts about any trade? Matter of fact, before we do that, I see his camera situation got just fixed backstage, so I'm gonna bring him up. Li, Yankee King, who I call the top troll in the Yankee community. Li, you know I love you, bro. You know that 100%. Li, make it real quick. When it comes to the state of this team, I know you want to trade DJ LeMahieu. I'm not asking you about that. I know you want to trade Giancarlo Stanton. I'm not asking you about that. But how do you feel about the state of this team, minus the two players that you want to trade? Go ahead, Li.
I'm not feeling very confident. Boone's an awful manager. We know. Lawson doesn't know hitting. We know this. And we are a game up on the Angels and a game and a half up on the Blue Jays for the 6th seed. $300 million payroll is a freaking
correction. $298 million. All right, you're being real Puerto Rican the way that you're rounding up like that. I'm just throwing that right there. I'm just saying it. All right, cool.
Indians do that too.
You ever ask one of your family members like, yo, what time it is? And be like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. Bro, it's 10:15. What the hell are you talking about? You just want it to be super late for no ass reason.
10:30. 11. I've actually said 10:30.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna toss it around real quick just because we gotta cut it off real quick. TC, I'm gonna start off with you, bro. When it comes to this team, when it comes to tonight, what's your predictions? Yankee versus Red Sox. Luis Severino is pitching in this series. What's your expectations for tonight? I know we got Domingo Germán pitching tonight, who has probably been one of our best pitchers, if not second best to Garrett Cole. What's your thoughts, TC? And let's throw it around to the panel. Let's throw it to Casey, Jonathan, Chicken Palm, and Li Yankee King to close this out.
Yeah, unfortunately, Germán's going to have to be pretty perfect tonight. At least 6 innings and, 1 run or less. The way this hitting's been, You know, I don't know. I have no faith in this hitting with hitting with runners in scoring position and the jumbled up lineup and all this. You know, it's just a big mess. So if the bats could get going and support Herman, I have faith in him. I mean, he's been one of our most consistent pitchers all year. And
Agreed.
let's just take this first game. I mean, Fenway Park is a hitter's park, so let's put up some runs early and make a statement, and just get up to a good start.
Agreed. Domingo Germán pitching to an ERA 3.49 over his last 4 starts. He has an ERA below 250. So shout out to Domingo Germán. KC Fun Time. Before I throw it over to you, I just want to also say, make sure you guys tune in tonight. Pete is going to be calling the game with Bad Dog. Shout out to Bad Dog also. First of all, anytime I see one of Bad Dog's videos, I feel like I got to get up and do push-ups. That man, he has muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles. KC Fun Time. Yeah, exactly. He has a 20-pack. KC, first, same question going your way when it comes to tonight's game and when it comes to this series. What's your expectations and what's your key notes that this team has to key on in order to win this series? Go ahead, KC.
Yeah, I think Herman has looked really good. So if he can continue that, they definitely have a chance to win. But they can't do 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position. That will not win the game. So the bats definitely that's going to be an ongoing statement is the bats. So I think the pitching is good enough to keep them in games. It's just the bats, and hopefully Boone can wake up and stop making some bonehead decisions late in games. But I don't really have a whole lot. It's the offense needs to pick it up, and then I think everything else will follow suit.
Nice. Yeah. Good one. Jonathan, same question going your way. When it comes to this series, what are your keys that this team has to hit in order to be successful against the Red Sox? Go ahead, Jonathan. The floor is yours.
I think for tonight's game, at least, I think the Red Sox need to be held to it at 2 runs. And if the offense can score early, they need to get to the starting pitcher, because the starting pitcher has over 5 ERA. So they need to knock him out early, and they need to be more disciplined at the plate and not swing at pitches in the other batted boxes. If they are more disciplined at bat, they can make the pitcher work and they score some runs. Because right now, this is another reason why I would like Florio up now, because he's a lefty bat and today is a righty starting pitcher.
Yeah.
I have no idea why Florio is basically getting the silent treatment, and he's behaving like the number 1 prospect that he used to be.
Even when you look at his splits versus lefties and righties, he is hitting basically 300 on the season when it comes to facing left-handed pitchers, right? So even when it comes to the splits, I don't know what this kid has to do. But chicken palm, Chick-fil-A. First of all, when that story came out about Anthony Volpe, I never thought in a million years, I love chicken parmesan, but I never thought that chicken parmesan would be a trending topic on Twitter because of Anthony Volpe. Go ahead, Sunil. Floor is yours. Same question going your way. What is your keys for this team to win this series against the Boston Red Sox?
2015, anybody remember Michael Pineda getting caught with Vaseline around the neck?
2015, I had hair on my bald ass head.
Pine tar, Vaseline, whatever it was.
I definitely missed 2015. I was probably 2 inches taller. I had fucking hair on my head. I definitely missed 2015. Go ahead, Sunil.
The only German sundae that peanut butter and jelly go good with is the one from Baskin Robbins. Dear Domingo Martin, stay the away from that shit tonight, please. Who's the opposition pitcher tonight for Boston?
The opposing pitcher for the Red Sox, Tanner Houck.
Oh, yeah. I think he was the guy who. He's the guy who we faced on Sunday night on that Fox game. Yeah, well, any game's winnable as long as you can hit, whether it's with a cricket bat, golf club, flagpole, whatever.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen,
I mean, it's like our bats need AI to hit the freaking baseball. You saw that with the Subway
if
series.
we could get some Chat GPT in the
Yeah.
dugout, they got the iPad, so maybe they need Chat GPT to be the new hitting coach.
I think
Type in whatever
think
you want, yeah, so he could
I
they could
think
tell you
I
what
mean,
they're doing.
I would make Shelley Duncan the hitting coach. He seems to work wonders with everybody.
That's a fact, Don Sicario, but I need a haircut right now. My barber, as you guys can tell, you know, he's in Dominican Republic. I don't trust everybody, so I'm waiting for him to come back in order for me to clean myself up, but I definitely do. If I had a nice shaved head, I would have showed it on stream, but I don't. I'm looking like Kyle's dad from South Park, the way that my hair is set up right now. But L.I. Yankee King, I'm gonna throw it over to you, because if there's one thing L.I. Yankee King has been right about, it's been Esteban Florio. I am not gonna lie. L.I. Yankee King, he's been holding that torch and has been running around with the Esteban Florio flag ever since last season. Ever since the first time I had L.I. Yankee King on the Yankees Morning Brew over on the KOD Nation, the first thing he brought up was Esteban Florio. So with that, I gotta give you your flowers, L.I. Yankee King. You are right when it comes to Florio. But bro, what is your keys for this weekend against the Boston Red Sox?
Keys for the Red Sox. Herman, maybe do a little sticky stuff, not too much so you get caught. Maybe a little Eddie Guerrero, Viva la Raza, maybe a little Eddie Guerrero. But make sure you don't get caught.
Again, Domingo Herman's Dominican, not Mexican, you know, but yeah, okay, let's go. Go ahead.
Well, take from Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Man, but no, when it comes to the lineup, any changes that you think this team's going to make? We have Harrison Bader coming back tonight, so hopefully, you know, Big Bad Bader, he can bring us some energy that we desperately need in this lineup. Yeah. So when it comes to that, what's your thoughts on Bader coming back, Li?
Absolutely love that Bader's coming back. It just sucks that he's going to get pitched around because he's our best hitter outside of Judge, and he's just going to go, no, I'll pitch around you. It's like, good luck, Bader. Good luck getting anything to hit, because you ain't getting nothing.
Hopefully there's some fastballs that he can hit away and stuff like that. But we got Jerry backstage. Jerry just came backstage. Let me bring Jerry up. Jerry, good morning, Jerry. We missed you.
Good morning, Hector and TC and Casey and Jonathan and everybody there. How you doing?
Yeah, do a roll call. Do a roll call.
We doing good, Jerry. We doing good. Jerry, listen, we're about to leave. We're about to leave momentarily. You know, we're about to wrap it up. But Jerry, I want to throw it to you. Perfect way for you to come in. When it comes to this series tonight, Yankees versus Red Sox, what are your keys for this team? And if you can, close us out right after that. But what do you need? What does this team need to be successful this weekend in Boston?
The batting averages are terrible. TC gave the rundown, and I want to vomit. I'm sick of the team. They're going to have to unload players. We're going to have a major change next year because Casey said it. Same results, same players. There'll be no changes. And they're waiting for Rodon. That's their trait is waiting for Rodon to come. And maybe what you asked for is Frankie Montage. If he shows up, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a big if. That's a big if. I like to troll a lot of people bringing up Frankie Montas, but when it comes to Carlos Rodon, I think he pitched a live batting practice at Somerset yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and he's supposed to make his first rehab assignment start next week, if not the following weekend. So Carlos Rodon, we got to cross our fingers. He should be on the team sooner rather than later. Eli, you got one last point before we get out of here?
Oh, wait. On the Esteban Florio thing, for all Yankee fans, I would like to say, I told you so. All right, I'm done.
Okay, Eli. Yes, you deserve
and I would agree. And I agree with him.
And you know, hell has froze over when Sunil agrees with L.I. Yankee King. That never happens. I am so happy that I've been able to bring you guys together so you can agree with me.
The other thing Florio will give you is a lefty bat, which you don't really have in the lineup.
Speed.
and a lefty bat that can hit lefty pitching.
Never worked in Yankee Stadium.
A lefty bat that can actually hit left-handed pitches. But guys,
one last thing before we go.
Go ahead, Jonathan. Before we get out of here,
the Yankees have never won the World Series without 2 lefty bats in their lineup.
Yep. They've never won with only 1 left-handed batter in that lineup.
They've always had 2.
Yep, you're absolutely right when it comes to that. Minimum 2. Minimum 2. That's the 2 right there. That's all we need. But Sunil, Casey Funtime, Jonathan, Jerry Cadell, L.I. Yankee King, I appreciate all you guys jumping up to the open panel. Mr. T.C. Steels, my co-host, I love you so much, my guy Pots and Pans. Appreciate you like always. Shout out to the chat, El Don Sicario, the Yankees Clipper, Sean Browning, Juanita, Lorenzo Cardona, my guy Anthony Medina, Pete Seminetti from NYY News TV. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, but we got to close the show out. Make sure you guys tune in next Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday for the open panel. Smack that like button. We are sitting on 683 subs to the channel. So we was able to get 3 subs while we've been rocking out today. But we appreciate you guys. If you guys can share us and all of your community, it will help us out. Smack that like button like always. TC, any last words for these beautiful people before we get out of here?
Yeah, we're just going to go smack some socks and, show them what's up. Have a great Friday, great weekend, and, celebrate.
And like always, deuces.
Deuces.